Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Heart and Health Wellness. I'm your host, Dr. Melissa Welch, and I'm so glad that you are here. Today is actually going to be a little bit different than our normal type of episode. I'm not going to be diving into a wellness topic, but instead I'm going to kind of give you a glimpse into behind the scenes of something that I've been working on, and I'm really excited to share it with you because I think it's going to be an opportunity to help a lot of people who have been struggling. And whether you are someone who fits into this category of the intended audience or not, I know that you know somebody who has gone through this or is struggling with this currently that you could share it with. So it's going to be good, whether it's for you or if it's someone for you to be able to better support, share it with. I'm excited that you are here. And I want to go ahead and dive in. So to give you some context or some background, I am a working mom myself. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist, and I work with individuals, couples, and families. And a lot of times that's with women, young women, new moms who are returning to the workplace after maternity leave. And it is a big struggle to make that return to work. And even for the women like myself who worked for a very long time, poured a lot of energy, invested a lot of money into their career and love what they do, going back to work after becoming a mother is a very, very difficult thing to do. And so I've been hearing for years at this point, women saying things like, I feel guilty no matter where I am, if it's at work or at home. I feel like I'm not where I'm supposed to be mentally. My brain is somewhere else. Or I'm totally exhausted and I don't know what to change. I just feel too worn thin or stretched too thin. And then the other thing that I hear a lot is I love my family and my career, but I just feel like I'm torn between two different places and it's really hard to know how to manage all of this. So if you have ever felt that way, just know that this program was designed for you. But if that's not you, I want you to think about who in your life might be going through that season right now and how the content that we're going to talk about today could provide as an opportunity for you to better support them or encourage them or just to be more aware of what's going on. So first of all, I want to talk about who this program is for, and then I will talk about what we're going to be doing in the program and what it looks like. And then I'll break it down from there on how to get involved to take advantage of this program. So first of all, who is this program intended for? This is for ambitious, values-driven women, especially new moms who are reentering the workforce after maternity leave, who are juggling the demands of both career and family. And it's for the woman who's totally tired of carrying all of the guilt like a backpack and who feels like her energy is always running on empty, who wonders if she's ever doing enough in any area of her life. And it's also for the woman who's ready to stop surviving and really start thriving with tools that are practical and evidence-based and rooted in biopsychosocial spiritual care, like I teach about and I talk about here every single week. So if you've been nodding along and thinking that's me, then I just want you to be encouraged to know that there is something that is coming your way that it's going to be helpful. So how is this program going to help? Well, it's an 8-week journey that I'm going to take you on with me, and I'm going to lead you from feeling confused and torn and full of guilt to someone who feels confident and aligned and empowered. And so each week I'm going to help you push through a mindset shift that's going to help you kind of see yourself and your situation differently. I'm going to give you some tangible action items each week to work on so that you feel like you're doing something new and actually not just learning information, but applying it into your own life. And then I'm also going to help you upgrade your identity each week. So you move from the woman you currently are, and we're not even moving to the person that you once were before. We're moving to an even better version of yourself so you can really become the woman that you want to be. So I'm going to give you a quick glimpse into what we're going to walk through week by week. In week 1, I'm going to have everybody do an evaluation of your current values and notice how those values have shifted since becoming a mom, and realize that that guilt you're experiencing often comes from feeling misaligned with your values rather than failure. So I want you to leave week 1 feeling anchored and very clear on what your non-negotiables are. In week 2, we're going to reframe guilt as a compass. So instead of feeling like you're drowning in guilt, you're going to learn to see it as a sign pointing you of where you need to turn your attention to where it matters most. So you really feel clear about why that guilt is showing up and how it's there to help you. In week 3, we're going to talk about how to manage your energy for moms specifically so you can stop chasing time and start managing your energy. And I'm going to teach you some resets that you can use to actually sustain you in those times. But instead of feeling completely drained because you're just trying to do it all, it'll be very clear about how to structure your time and energy, really making you feel empowered about how you're spending your time. Then in week 4, we'll talk about rebuilding your confidence in your career identity. Of course, you got into that career in the first place because it was important to you. It was meaningful to you and you felt like you were making a difference. And so we're going to get some of that back by dismantling that imposter syndrome that has crept up and celebrating how not only has motherhood changed you as an individual, but it's also strengthened you and made your professional worth even better because you have a whole new unique perspective that you can bring to the table, and you're gaining skills and resources that you didn't even know you needed before that are now going to help you in the workplace. Even though you're going to have mom brain, you can still feel like you're doing an even better and not feel diminished. In week 5, we're going to talk about boundaries and balance. So I'm going to have you identify where you need to set those boundaries up and then give you some practice scripts and role plays so we can actually work through that together so you feel equipped when you leave to be able to implement those lessons that you're learning and do something with it. So that's going to help you have very clear boundaries that are going to protect your time and energy and have the skills to keep them implemented even when they get pushed back on, because they will, absolutely. In week 6, we're going to look at mindfulness and presence in chaos and give you strategies for managing your big emotions that will undoubtedly come along. And so you will gain some short, powerful tools for calming your nervous system and showing up with more peace, even when it feels like everything is just totally wild and chaotic, because it will. And I think it's important to note that those skills that we use, although simple and effective, do look different at the workplace versus at home. So I'll help you figure out what those skills are that you need to have in your toolbox. In week 7, we're going to look at building support systems because things do not happen in isolation. And I'm going to have you map out your circle of support and identify where there might be some gaps and how we might be able to fill those gaps with the resources that you have access to, and be able to practice asking for help and recognize that that is not a weakness, but a strength and something that is absolutely necessary for you to be the best professional and the best mother that you can be. And in week 8, we'll bring it all together and integrate this vision so that you can move forward with confidence. I'm going to have you write a career mother vision statement to really see how your vision of yourself as a professional and your vision of yourself as a mother overlap. And there's some unique distinctions for each one, but there's a lot of overlap there. And have you have a clear vision for moving forward with some goals that you can work toward and feel very confident in your ability to do that with support and somebody holding you accountable and a system in place to be able to celebrate it when it all comes together. So again, I just want to reiterate that this is 8 heavy weeks of intense stuff. So I'm really looking for women who are struggling and ready for a change and willing to invest their time for 8 weeks with me to really put in the work to show up and see this transformation happen. This is not just me providing you with information and then saying good luck, but it's actually going to be week by week, us working through this stuff together, having time to do some group coaching where we can really talk about questions and challenges that are showing up for you that are making it difficult, and we can tackle that. I do want to make a note that this is not the same as therapy. When you show up with a therapist, there's going to be a very different way of interacting and getting this information, this transformation. This is unique coaching program where I provide the education, show you how to move forward, and then push you to do it. It is going to be different than therapy. We're not treating mental health issues here or mental illness here. And I just want that to be clear. So Each week is going to build on the last and really help you shift how you think, what you do, and ultimately who you believe yourself to be. So I'm officially going to launch this program in November of 2025. So just over a month from now, that's when the doors will be open and women everywhere are going to be able to join. But here's the exciting part. Before the big launch, I'm going to be running a pilot program. And if you join the pilot program, you're going to get early access to all of this information and the coaching time and resources at a greatly reduced cost. You're going to get to work with me more closely because it's going to be a much smaller group, and you're going to have the chance to share your story as a case study or a testimonial. So I really want women who are going to show up, put the time and effort in, and then let me know what it was like for them to be able to encourage others to experience this as well. So that means you get not only the transformation, but you're also going to help me shape the program for future women who will walk this path. And so if that speaks to you, I want you to just send me a message. You can reach out to me on text if you know me personally. You can send me an email. You can be on social media, whatever it is, reach out to me and let me know that you are interested. And I will get you the details about being part of that pilot program. But that's getting started soon. So don't hesitate on that. If you're interested, go ahead and reach out to me. For the listeners who are like, this doesn't really apply to me, that's okay. This is where you come in. Even if you're not in the season of life right now where it's time for you to join, the best way that you can support me in this program is by helping me spread the word about it. So if you know a mom who's struggling with guilt or energy or boundaries or confidence, which is probably a lot of the moms that you know, especially the new moms, please send this episode to her. Let her know that there is an opportunity to get some support. You can also share it on social media and tag me in it at Heart and Health Wellness. And I want us to work together to get the message out about this. Sometimes all it takes is one conversation or one link or one podcast episode to give the woman some hope that she doesn't have to feel torn between being this career professional or being the most wonderful mother. And I want her to know that she's not alone and that this is a very common, difficult struggle. So in closing, I believe that this program can really be life-changing because I've seen it for myself personally, and then also with the women that I've worked with in a clinical capacity. And I know that the women who come through this community are going to see a really big change, and I'm really excited for that. So whether you want to join the pilot program now or you want to wait for the official launch in November, just know this: you are not failing. You are absolutely evolving and growing and becoming an even better version of yourself. And you deserve to feel aligned and confident and empowered in both your family and your career. And so if that is something that you want to do, send me a message. Let me know that you are interested in the pilot program, or share this episode with a friend who needs to hear it. And let's go ahead and start this next chapter of life together. That is all I have for you today. Until next time, take care of yourself and be well.